Hello everyone and welcome to day 15 of Python Expert Tutorial series. And today we'll be building a program to find the Armstrong or narcissistic number by taking the inputs from the user in Python. So let's go to the Google Colab. I have already mentioned here like what is an Armstrong number, or which is also known as narcissistic number, right? So the definition is actually coming from the Google. So it is a number that equals the sum of its own digits, where each digit is raised to the power of the total number of the digits in a number. So basically, like one example is 153, right? So for example, the length of this number is 3 because we have 1, 5, and 3, right? And if I do 1 raised to the power 3 plus 5 raised to the power 3 plus 3 raised to the power 3, right? If I do the calculation on the right hand side, it should be equal to 153. If this is how, I mean, if left hand side equals to right hand side, that means this number is actually Armstrong number. So we are going to build the program which will figure out, okay, the number which is being fed in by the user, right, is an Armstrong number or not. So first thing we need, obviously, like, input, right, from user. And the second thing we need from is basically we should know the length of the number, right? um, and then obviously we need to figure out the sum, right, of all the digits with raised to the power of the length of the number. With that, I think let's start. I can just scroll it down a bit. So as I mentioned, like we need the input from the user, so I can put it over here. Maybe I can say a number, right? um, I want user to feed in integer, right? And I want to make sure please enter the number, right? So once I have the number from the user, I want to make sure that I figure out the length of that number, right? So over here I can say maybe length of that number, right? And I can say, if you remember my past videos, there is a formula called len, right, of this string we are going to figure out, which is num. So this will calculate the length of this number. I can just remove the space, right? Now I want to make sure that I build a program which will sum the sum of all the digits raised to the power, like, to total number of digits. So with that, there are a couple of things which we have to do. The first thing is, like, we know the sum as of today is 0, right? And I'm going to, change the number every single time, because I'm going to take like one by one the digits from that number. So I'm going to call a temporary number, which is like temporary number equals to num. The reason is because I'm going to take like one number out of that, like one digit out of that number one by one. So that's why I'm going to call it like temporary number. So I'm going to say temporary um, number, right? And which is equals to my num, because I don't want to disturb this actual number which is being fed in by the user, but I want to change this temporary number which is just equal to like num, right? So with that, let's work. So I want to make sure I work on, this program till my temporary number is greater than 0, right? So with that in mind, so first thing which I want to make sure that I take the last digit, right, from that number. So I can call it like, maybe last digit, right, every single time. And I know that I'm going to utilize not the number but the temporary number. I'll just copy this, paste over here, right? And there's something called, if you remember my past video, there's something called modulo operator, which is nothing but this sign, right? And this sign is actually going to, give me the remainder if I divide this by a certain number. So let's say if I want to divide by 10, it will give me the remainder. That means the last number if I divide this by 10. So this is what I need, because I want to take like one by one digits from that number. Now one thing is clear here, like, we are done with the taking the last digit. So now I want to make sure that, I do the sum. So where sum, I already know this is 0, which will be sum plus, your last digit. I'll take this last digit, right? And I want to put it like raised to the power of total number of, like, the length of the number basically over here, which is, we have already calculated the length number, right? And to put a raised to power, we have to do 2 times stars and then this, right? So that one more step is completed, that we figured out the last digit. We are now doing the sum raised to the power, the length of the number. The third thing is, we want to make sure that my new number, right, which is like, as of now it is one, like whatever the number we have over here, 153, I think we took the example. But I don't want to take like 153 now, because I have already taken the last digit. Now I just want like 15, the preceding numbers, right? So now my temporary number will be like, again, modified, which is like this. And if you remember, this particular sign, that one single slash, is nothing but your division, which will also consider, like, your floating, your points, your decimal numbers as well. But if I do 2 times slash, which is nothing but your floor division, which only takes, like, your fractional part, right? um, Basically it's like, uh, truncates the fractional part and return just the whole number, and do not consider the fractional part. I'm really sorry, I just messed it up. So this 2 slashes is nothing but your floor division. It will only take your whole number, it will not consider your fractional part. So if I'm going to take this number and say divide by 10, right? So it's the same thing is going to happen. Over here it's actually focusing on taking the last digit. Over here it's actually focusing on taking the preceding digits, right? So once I have this, now I just want to make sure that I have a if function which will which will figure it out. Okay, if my num, right, is equals to your sum sum, if that's the situation, then I just want to make sure I print uh, I'll say, awesome, um, this is an Armstrong number, right? So, and if that's not the case, then I'll say, else, um, you know print better luck. Oh, sorry, my bad. Print better luck next time, right? So our program is actually kind of complete. We'll just run it. I'll just give you a walkover right now, that, what one, we are taking the user, we are making sure that user feed in the number over here. Then we are looking for the length of the number, because as per the definition of the Armstrong, number, we have to, raise to the power each digit by the total number of the digit. Then we are starting with sum, which is obviously 0 as of now. And then we are not going to disturb the actual input which is being submitted, of, provided by the user. We are creating a temporary number, and then we are running, first taking the last digit, and then, raising that to the power of the total number of um, digits we have in the number. And then we are, removing the fractional part by using the floor division, these 2 slashes over here, right, in a way that, it just truncates the fractional part and just takes the whole number component of the number. And then we are just making sure that if my this particular piece is being run, like this program is being run completely, I just want to make sure that my number is equals to sum. If that is not the case, then my number is not an Armstrong number. So let's run it. So if I just click on run, and we can test it for 153, because we just did the test. So if we can run it for 153, it should give me an output that awesome, this is an Armstrong number. Yeah, so basically awesome, we got the output over here. I can redo it and then try running it for different number. Maybe you can just say 1 2 3 4 and hit enter. It will say better luck next time. So this is a way you can build your program to figure out whether the number which you're feeding in is an Armstrong number or not. But yeah, that pretty much it for the day 15 video. In case you have any questions, in case you have any doubts, you can put that into comment section. If you're new to the video, make sure that you hit like and subscribe to the channel as well. I've been putting across various videos, various, shorts, educational video on Python. I have also kind of a series on MS Excel as well. Go make sure that you check that out as well. With that, thank you so much for jumping on my video. Thank you.